Alrighty, everybody. That was Lauren Hill, Sweetest Thing, as requested by my guest this week, Tarishi. You are listening to After Hours, broadcasting from Eastern Connecticut State University in Willimantic, Connecticut, 90.1 FM WECS. Yeah, I mean, I guess we were talking over the break about how you have done projects with my guest, someone who came here like 2 weeks ago, Hawk T Poet. Now, like poetry projects or acting projects?
Both.
Both.
Yes.
Really? Okay. And how long have you been acting? Have you been doing it in the same reign as poetry?
No,
or?
I just started about a year ago.
Okay. It looks like we have someone calling in. So
it's like really
yeah, it's just got a flash in your face. All right, so let's see if we can get to this call. So bad with the technology here.
It's all good.
All right. So hi, you are on the air with Jon and Tarishi. Who's this?
This is Snake.
I'm sorry. Who is this?
This is Snake.
Snake. Snake. Do you have anything to say that's related to our discussion? Because if you don't, I will hang up on you.
Oh, I was just making sure you got my song.
I got your song, Quincy. Thank you very much. And thank you for almost filling in for me tonight when I possibly needed you.
Who is Quincy?
He does this all the time. But yes, say hi to Tarishi, man.
That Doc Q kid you talk about?
What?
That Doc Q kid you talk about, that's Quincy, right?
Sounds kind of creepy, doesn't it? Yeah. All right. So I'll see you later, Snake. Thank you so much for calling in.
Yes, thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. You see what my life has become, Tarishi? Anyway, so yeah, you and Hawk T Poet have been involved with some projects together. What kinds of projects have you been involved in?
I met Hawk on the first project I met Hawk on was a play called The Dick Chronicles, and that was directed by goodness, man, mine. Written by Tracy Caldwell, directed by Sherelle Renee.
And what was that play about?
It was about body image. People that deal with body image, whether you're overweight, anorexic, skinny, people that have issues with their bodies. So that's a play about bringing aware to your personal body image and stuff like that.
Okay, and I know. Look, I hate to be stereotypical, but guys don't really worry about that too much as much as girls. But I have to still ask, like.
Yes, guys do worry about that.
Did it personally affect you in some way? Did that piece kind of get into you as far as, oh yeah, this relates to me with my body image?
The poem I did was written by a friend of mine, Kyle Brooks, and I took it on because the poem is more so the opposite of me, where he talks about his personal issue with his body, where I understand where he's coming from, where his struggles that he's going through, my struggles are the opposite he's going through in regards to body image. You want to know anything about it, I check the play out, like I say, man.
Okay, cool. Is it currently running, or was it just...
It will be coming back soon, so I'll keep you posted up on Facebook, stuff like that.
No problem. And I'm sorry, I drew a blank. Did we talk about acting?
You talking about acting. So I met Hawk on the set of...
Okay.
I met Hawk throughout. I heard of him throughout poetry and throughout the Harper scene. I met him on the set of The Chronicles, and then I met another gentleman by the name of Will Mobley doing poetry, and he came up to me and offered me a role in his movie.
Wow.
Yeah. So
what was the part?
He wanted to play the part of a heroin addict.
Wow. Okay.
So the full length 2-hour movie. No, not 2 hours. It's an hour and a half.
Yeah, sounds pretty intense.
It was very intense. It's a very good movie. Very good movie. And he asked me if I know anybody that could play the role of my brother, and I referred to him. So no, I do know somebody named Hawk T Poet, and he came down to he came down to the play of The Chronicles. That's how he saw Hawk T Poet, and then from there, me and Hawk T Poet did that movie. We're doing another short right now with Will Mobley called Until Death Do We Part, and me and Hawk performed on the Connecticut slam team, Verbal Slap, and we went to nationals this year.
That's nice.
Back in
Connecticut slam team. That's like some kind of a poetry thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Every state, well, mostly every state has a slam team.
Yeah.
And they in order to get on the slam team, you have to compete to be on the slam team.
Yeah.
And you represent your state or the city in that state. Like for example, New York, they have like 7 teams that represent New York.
Wow.
Different teams and different because New York is so big.
That's cool. And the basis of it is to see like who can spit the best poetry.
Yeah, it's a poetry competition. It's a competition of poetry.
Okay.
And then every year it's held in a different place.
Nice.
This year it was held in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay.
Last year it was in Cambridge, Massachusetts.
Wow.
And in 2013, it's supposed to be going back to Cambridge, Massachusetts.
That's pretty cool.
So I'm looking forward to.
Now, do you win any awards as a result of your performing?
You do it. There's an award. There's a trophy. It's a beautiful trophy. The trophy is about as tall as me, about from the ground up, about this high, and it's like a sword, like an Excalibur type sword.
Sounds
going
dangerous.
Going into a stack of books.
Yeah. Wow.
As like you see the sword, like just go online, Google National Poetry Slam Trophy.
Okay.
You're like, wow.
Yeah, it's kind of strange how you mentioned Slam because I think Slam is the same name of the magazine that your girlfriend does.
Yes.
Yes.
An extra M. SLAMM.
Yeah.
Slam.
Now, did she do that title as a tribute to the competition, or is it just a coincidence?
I have to ask her about that.
Okay.
I don't think it's a tribute to the competition.
Yeah.
The SLAM, it stands for Support Local Artists Movement Magazine.
Yeah, she came by to promote it on my show. Yeah, it's great stuff, by the way.
Yes.
Check out the magazine. Is it published anywhere? Because I don't know if I got that clear from her.
It's online publication and digital print.
All right.
So so if you want an actual physical copy, you go online and buy it.
Okay.
And so as of right now, it's not yet in stores.
Yeah, she gave me a physical copy. It was a magnificent magazine.
So
I encourage everybody to check it out. So, in terms of your poetry, have you ever had the experience where? And I've asked this to Hawk T Poet. Have you ever had the experience where you're up there, you're performing, and you don't quite get the reception you want? You maybe get, some shocking noises, some gaps, like, whoa, you said something that incredibly offended me. Have you had that sort of audience disagreement, heckling experience that maybe most poets have had?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it comes from the arena you're in.
Yeah.
There's been times in the past I have performed. There are open mics in bars, and doing poetry in a bar situation is gonna be kind of hard because most people are there to get drunk.
Yeah,
and have fun, and they want to listen to no poetry.
It's tough.
Yeah, but in the beginning, it'll bother me, but now I just don't worry about it because I'm like, no, my job is to do the poem, recite the poem, and I get some hecklers or something like that. Hey,
okay.
I just keep going.
Now I wonder if there's any source of progression in poetry. Forgive me if I seem like narrow-minded on this, but when I think of poetry, I think like you can only do open mics. Like you can't really take it farther from there. Like I can't imagine someone doing poetry at like Carnegie Hall. You know what I mean? So I'm wondering, like, is it something that you can make a living in, where you can just, expose it to thousands to millions of people, or is it something that is always going to be befitted for an intimate audience in an intimate club setting?
Poetry, for the most part, from my understanding, from what I was told, poetry is not a lucrative profession.
Okay.
So it can be.
It can be.
It can be.
Very rarely.
It's very rare.
Yeah.
So I'll use myself as an example. I didn't get into poetry to make millions or to be rich off.
You did it for yourself.
I did it for myself. Poetry is something for yourself. Can poetry get to that next level of Carnegie Hall, like you said, so to speak? Goodness, you put me on fire.
That's good. I apologize.
No. I like that. I like challenging questions. Maya Angelou.
I forgot about her. Are you a big fan of her?
I like her work. Yes.
Yeah.
Maya Angelou, Langston Hughes. They're individuals that have.
Honestly,
So.
here's how much I love Maya Angelou. She could say something as simple as "I'm going to the bathroom," and it could sound very, very deep and profound. You know what I mean? Like she just has that voice that speaks sexy, poetic flow. And I shouldn't say sexy because she's like 100 years old.
I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, poetry you can get that next level. Like every single state has a poet laureate. So,
Okay. Well, what does that mean?
I shouldn't have said it.
It's fine. I mean,
that's like I should know this stuff, but
it's fine. I mean, just
no.
Come up with what you can.
No, I'm not. No. There's a person that represents a state and at certain functions, and their title is poet. They're the poet laureate of the state. So Connecticut has one too.
Okay.
I don't know his name.
So poet laureate, like someone who represents the best in poetry in that state.
I won't say the best. He is just that person. I'm not sure how you get to be that poet laureate. That's just who they are. Yeah, I won't say they're best, but just every state has one.
Okay.
But poetry, in a sense, it'd be kind of hard to see if poetry gets to that level of what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Without it being, without it losing its, without it being commercial.
I see.
So, poetry is more than just open mics and stuff like that. And
I'm curious, how did Maya Angelou become this worldwide known, respected poet? Like, did she have to kind of sell herself out commercially to make that happen, or was she always true to herself?
No, everybody's on. I think she was definitely true to herself.
Yeah.
It's just that there are a lot of people that are famous doing poetry, but they're not in that spotlight. There are people that travel the world doing poetry.
Okay.
And I met poets that are who you consider international poets. There's poets that are traveling across the country right now.
Yeah.
And it's just that Maya Angelou is the first person to come to mind that's in that arena when you think of poetry, because she's at that level of being known for doing poetry, right, from Hallmark movies, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
where do you see yourself in the future as far as exposing your poetry? I mean, do you want to kind of be like a chicken soup person, selling poetry by book form, or do you like to have that in-person personal experience?
I like the in-person experience.
Yeah.
I never when I started doing poetry, I never had like a game plan of what is going to be the end result of poetry.
Yeah.
Just doing what I love, my passion, and poetry has allowed me to do so much and open doors for me in other avenues where I'm doing movies. I use my poetry as a way to educate, and it's therapeutic for me as well. So my personal issues and my stuff that I deal in my life, I use my poetry as my way to talk about that and also help other people. And I realize some of the things I'm going through, somebody else is going through the same things, and they just don't know how to express it. So when I write poems, people come up to me and say to me, "Wow, I was going through the same thing, and you talked directly to me with that poem." And I said, "Thank you. I'm glad that it's able to motivate you and help you." And the end result, it might sound cliche, but just want to educate, help people, inspire, just be an all-around good person. And as of right now, my poetry got me to be a co-facilitator with Love 146, and got a chance to meet Bill Clinton. And who else? Who knows where it's going to take me?
Yeah, I mean, you have a pretty good start so far, so I would keep on going and certainly keep your head up. Well, once again, I can't thank you enough for being here, and you said that you have a poem that you might possibly want to perform for us.
Sure.
I hate to put you on the spot once again, but did you finally come up with a name, or do you just want to keep this poem untitled, kind of mysterious?
I'll keep it untitled.
All right, cool. As to the mystery. All right, so I mean, I got to put the camera on you. I mean,
okay.
Nobody wants to look at me while you're actually performing godliness right now. Hate to make it all high expectations, but I don't know. I just think that poets are great in general, no matter who you are.
Thanks.
But yeah, you're welcome. All right, so without further ado, we're gonna have Tarishi perform, and I hope you guys enjoy. So take it away whenever you are ready.
There is a child with no name. They could be your daughter, your son, your sister, your brother, niece, nephew, cousin, your grandchild, missing in the wild while standing in plain sight. From night to daybreak, we do not break our necks from our mundane lives while this child waits for us to call them by their name, other than slave, abused, victim, lost. At what cost will it take for you to see them, recognize who they are? There are 27 million of them individuals with no names. They are not needles lost in a haystack. As a matter of fact, they are more than the population of Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, Manchester, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and New Jersey combined, with 4 million remaining as if they were spirit changed. Their lives changed the day someone promised to give them heaven. In return, someone sold them hell. So this is their story. They are living somewhere between purgatory and oblivion, but that is just it. They are still living. They are still breathing. And as long as they continue to fight for life, I will fight for them. I will continue to write for them. But actions speak louder than words, and words have the power of life and death. So I'll say this with my very last breath. You are not forgotten. You're more than a picture I saw on the back of a milk carton. You are not forgotten. You're more than a child I saw in a documentary. You are not forgotten. You're more than a flyer staple to an old department store bulletin board. I will educate even more. I will tell your story even more. I will move heaven and earth so you can know you're worth more than the words in this poem. You're worth more than diamonds and gold. You are priceless. Your smile is brighter than the sun. You are someone's daughter, son, niece, nephew, cousin, grandchild. And even though you're not standing in front of me, I see you. And even though I do not know your name, I see you. And yes, you are beautiful. Until the day comes when words can roll off of your own tongue and you can tell me what your name is, I will call you love. Yes, the world will call you love. Love, to us, you are our son, our daughter, our niece, our nephew, our cousin, our grandchild, and love, you are not forgotten.
That was magnificent. I love that. Tarishi, everybody. Now, and this is directly related to the Love 6 organization.
Love Home for Six.
Love Home for Six organization. When did you come up with that poem?
I wrote that poem as a good. I was on the phone talking to the CEO of Love Home for Six, Steve Martin, and I emailed him 2 other poems, as regards to human trafficking and child sex exploitation. And he called me up and he was telling me he likes the poems. They were just a little bit too bold and too real for the event, because they wanted me to perform for the event.
Yeah.
So he says, we want to have a message, a message of positivity, a message of hope. And I said, okay. So that conversation, because September 20th was the day of the show. So I wrote that poem within 1 hour after talking to him.
Wow.
And that was probably like that was sometime in the beginning of September when I wrote that poem. So
what was it like when you first performed it?
It was very well received. It was nice. It was there's a video on YouTube of
Oh.
somebody recording me live at the event.
Nice.
And I didn't know it until
Okay.
later on.
So if people type up your name, they should find the poem somewhere?
If they go to my YouTube channel, which is
Yeah.
youtube.com/13th Midnight, you'll see the live performance at the Edison Ballroom
Okay.
in New York. And then they'll see the UK version of that poem
All right.
online. And tomorrow I'm going to post the US version of that poem.
Nice.
So I will admit I was really nervous. That was like, I'm always nervous.
Yeah.
And people don't believe me. I'm always nervous. But that day I was like extremely nervous because
Yeah, I would imagine.
and given the fact that Bill Clinton was in the building too.
Yeah.
And then and what made it even worse, people kept coming up to me jokingly saying, "Don't mess up. Don't mess up."
Yeah.
The
the former president of the United States is here.
and
Yeah.
like they kept building the pressure and I will admit, people don't think I'm nervous and people don't think I mess up, and I messed up on stage. I did that poem. No one noticed it, but I will be honest.
That's the great thing about performing. When you mess up, only you can tell.
Yes.
Like the audience, they've never seen it. They've never heard you rehearse. It's completely brand new to them.
Yes.
So that's the great thing you have to take in as a performer. If you mess up, whatever. The audience.
That's one thing I tell students. I do
Yeah.
workshops. Listen, if you mess up, do not stop. Keep going.
Yeah.
The beautiful thing about poetry, it trains you to do other things to help you be a better actor. Because when you do poetry, it helps you to improv, and you're doing improv on the spot.
Yep.
So there's times I've forgotten a poem, and then I'm in the middle of a poem I forgot. So I freestyle. I
That's
improv
great.
and just keep going until it comes back to me. When it comes back to me, boom.
Right.
So that would happen on the day of.
Have you gotten people who are like, wait a minute, it looked like you were just making up stuff, you didn't know what you were doing? Or was it just kind of like, oh, I didn't even notice?
I have before when I was in the earlier stages of doing poetry, people would know I could tell you're messing up. But now, when I did a poem at for Love 1 for 6, no one knew because
That's good.
I just got to the point where I'm able to just keep on going
Yeah.
and make it seem like it's part of the poem.
Yeah. I mean, that's the main thing. You have to make it seem as effortless as possible.
Yes. Well, one of the tricks I do as if I mess up, I just repeat the same line I said before.
and it eventually comes back to
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
And then I say a different line just so I don't sound repetitive.
Repetition. That's one
Yeah.
of life's great gifts. I would I know I say this a million times, but you don't know how much it means to me to have you come on and
thank
take
you
some
for having
time out of your late night schedule to come by.
This is part of the grind.
Hey, I appreciate it, man.
Thanks,
Thank
man.
you so much. It's Tarishi Midnight Shuler, and I'll post this up online like Thursday, Friday, sometime next week. So I'll tag you in it. You can see it if you want.
Definitely.
It should be well lit this time. Sorry, Hawk T. All right, and where are you performing next?
What's today's date? Today's the
Today's the 24th, I
Today's
believe.
24th.
Well, now the 25th, since
Okay,
we are
25th.
now past the midnight hour.
Good. Now the 28th, I'll be performing at Two Boots in Bridgeport, Connecticut. November 3rd, I'll be performing at in New Haven at 175 Humphrey Street, which is at the old Humphreys Cafe, but now called Carissa's. And it's going to be a poetry slam. It's going to be dope. It's going to be like poets from Connecticut, New York, and Mass coming
Great.
there. It's going to be an excellent competition. So if you're in the area and on 175 Humphrey Street in Haven, come through. If you're in the Bridgeport area on the 28th at Two Boots, come through. And this Friday, the 26th, there's going to be an event at Poets Realm exclusive. You're going to have my cousin, Shamant Influence Little. He came with me to Nationals to compete. And we're going
Nice.
to have Alicia Harris. It's going to be an awesome event. Its location of that place is 39 Hague Street in New Haven. And those are on Hamden. And those familiar with the Hamden area, it's right behind the Planet Fitness on Dixwell Avenue. So, yes, and if you want to follow me, you could go on my website at 13thmidnight.com, and I have all my events posted up on there well, and they go there to buy my album.
Great. A lot of stuff happening. I wish you the best of luck. I mean,
Thank you,
I know your future is going to be very bright as well as your present. Yeah, it's Tarishi. Thank you so much, Tarishi. All right, what we're going to do, I mean, do you have another song? Because we can take you out with another song by you, if you like. Anything you want. As long as it's not explicit, of course.
Do you have anything? Let's play some Roots.
Roots. All right, cool. I'm on the YouTube right now. What specific song from the Roots?
You know what? If you could find an unexplicit.
Oh yeah, they have a lot of them.
Um,
I have the Seed, You Got Me, What They Do, The Fire, Here I Am.
the fire.
The Fire.
The fire. Woo!
Okay.
Is it clean?
I don't know. Let's do clean lyrics.
The fire. That is featuring John Legend.
Yeah.
A very good song.
Okay. So let's do that, and hopefully it's clean. If not, then we're in trouble. All right. So The Fire, The Roots with John Legend, Tarishi. It's After Hours. We'll be right back.